Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Because it's Comic-Con weekend, Robert Downey Jr. just released another Avengers Doomsday teaser from the set of the movie, also probably because of what happens in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene for obvious reasons, and Marvel wants to capitalize on all the hype this weekend. In true Marvel teaser fashion, it raises way more questions than it actually answers, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. And careful for spoilers for the Fantastic Four post-credit scene if you haven't seen the movie yet, because we need to talk about how this new Avengers Doomsday teaser connects with that for obvious reasons. Normally you would expect Kevin Feige's snipers to be on anybody leaking anything, no matter how small, from inside Avengers Doomsday, but Robert Downey Jr. is probably one of the only people right now at Marvel who is absolutely bulletproof. If you didn't see Robert Downey Jr. posting his teasers just as Marvel was releasing the Fantastic Four movie in theaters everywhere yesterday, just as everyone was seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom in that post-credit scene with Franklin Richards, raising all kinds of questions, Robert Downey Jr. himself was in the middle of filming Avengers Doomsday, so he's posting this new teaser from the set of Avengers Doomsday while he's filming all of his Doctor Doom scenes. Then he posts this hype video. That's the best way I can describe it. Robert Downey Jr. has kind of been the Doomsday hype man since they started filming. He's the lead actor of the movie. Marvel is resting a lot of the future of their brand on him bringing people back to theaters, so it makes sense. They really need people to buy tickets for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. They really want to turn around a lot of the naysayers and haters to get them to come back to theaters. And he posts this longer hype video showing that he's reading an issue of West Coast Avengers number 35 for reference to whatever they're filming on this day for Doomsday that he posted this. As you can see, it's a very Doctor Doom-centric plot. Biggest questions now being, does this mean that the Russo brothers are doing a West Coast Avengers team more literally in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? Are they just thinking of Sam Wilson's new Avengers team that the Thunderbolts mentioned in their post-credit scene, and they'll have more of a West Coast Avengers vibe, but they won't use the name West Coast Avengers? Are they doing some actual kind of West Coast Avengers team? Because for a long time in Marvel Phase 4, it seemed like they were setting up the West Coast Avengers with a lot of the characters they were either bringing back or introducing, especially on the West Coast of the United States.
Like you were concerned, like it was DEFCON 5, and you were carrying the football, but you couldn't open it.
A couple of the other characters that we haven't seen yet that are on this West Coast Avengers team in the issue that Robert Downey Jr. is reading, number 35, are actually about to show up before the end of the year. Will they just be using plot elements from this particular issue of West Coast Avengers? I'll explain what actually happens during this issue in a second. Or does this teaser mean that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will have his own West Coast Avengers-style Easter egg team in the movie made up of alternate universe versions of major characters? Is that the vibe here, where it's like an alternate universe team? Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, you get the idea, like an evil version of the Hulk, or a more savage version of the Hulk. What's actually going on in this particular issue that he's reading is it's called The Voice of Doom. That's the name of the story of the issue. It follows Doctor Doom after he's been trapped in the body of Christophe Bernard, and during the adventure, Doctor Doom captures several of the West Coast Avengers at Castle Doom, then fights Khonshu and Moon Knight. It's a pretty wild adventure. Notice the song that Robert Downey Jr. is listening to is written by his son in real life, and it's titled A Change of Scenery. So does it imply that we'll see Doctor Doom fighting these characters in whatever they're filming for Avengers Doomsday right now in some alternate part of the actual movie, like some alternate reality or alternate universe? Because we do know we're going to see a couple different universes in the movie. We'll travel to the Baxter Building, we know, because of the Fantastic Four post-credit scene. We'll be in the X-Men's universe because they filmed a lot of scenes there. I've already done videos about those. And we'll be in the main MCU for a lot of the movie too. These are the characters that were actually on the West Coast Avengers team that Doctor Doom was fighting in that issue. So it was Mockingbird, Hawkeye. Remember, Mockingbird is meant to be Hawkeye's wife inside the MCU. Hank Pym, even though technically it seems like Michael Douglas has retired from acting and he will not be back. Maybe substitute Ant-Man for Hank Pym in that sense in the MCU. Wonder Man, we're actually about to see show up in the MCU on his TV show in December this year. As of me posting this video, he literally just attended the Fantastic Four premiere in character as Simon Williams. It was an absolutely wild way to promote the series and got super meta.
Now, we've heard you've become close with problematic public figure Trevor Slattery, aka the Mandarin. Can you tell us a little bit more?
I'm sorry, we gotta get moving.
I'm so sorry, I gotta go. All right, it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
The whole reason why he attended the Marvel premiere in real life in character is because during the Wonder Man series, Simon Williams is an actor in Hollywood, just like in the comics. In Simon Williams' regular life, he pretends to be an actor for his day job, basically. They're going to be changing exactly how he gets powers in the MCU series, but in the comics and in the MCU series, he gets powers, then becomes an actual superhero. So the way they're treating this interview is sort of like Marvel exists inside the MCU. They do this all the time, like Timely Comics shows up in the Fantastic Four movie. There's two comic book creators that are supposed to be Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in the 1960s that appear. Timely Comics is the original name of Marvel Comics. Probably the best kind of Stan Lee cameo you can get without Stan Lee actually still being around. May he rest in peace. I also think it's our first technical Jack Kirby cameo scene in an actual Marvel movie, even though it's another actor also playing him because he's also passed away. The other characters in that particular Doctor Doom issue were Tigra and Moon Knight, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Wasp. Quicksilver also appears during it as an antagonist though. Now a lot of you also asking, does this mean that Scarlet Witch and Vision are going to show up? And even bigger, does this also mean that Moon Knight will show up in Avengers Doomsday if he was such a big part of this issue? Kevin Feige literally just did that big Marvel Phase 7 and Mutant Saga panel last week talking about the future of the MCU, all the characters, the big reboot they're doing after Secret Wars. I've already done a much larger video for that, so I'll link it below in the description. During that, reporters specifically asked him when we'd see Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight again, and he said anytime, basically, in a more teasing, kind of optimistic way, like he was going to bring him back in the next two Avengers movies at some point. We will see if that sticks. They've had a lot of different plans for the Moon Knight character, like there was going to be a Midnight Suns, but that was supposed to happen after the Blade movie. The Blade movie never wound up happening, so Midnight Suns never wound up happening. We will see what winds up changing in the future. Sometimes when Marvel movies get put by the wayside or get delayed, it causes other movies to also get delayed. And because the Russos haven't even finished the script for Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars yet, that movie or those two movies change on a daily basis. So any of the characters that appear during it right now could completely change by tomorrow. I think the strongest hints that we can take away from this West Coast Avengers teaser is that Doctor Doom will be fighting some of these characters in the movie. Like there'll be a couple different teams that fight different Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom teams, the same way they divided all the different teams in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. I do not expect them to do the weirder stuff with Doctor Doom's spirit being trapped in somebody else's body. Like, I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. is trying to say that his Doctor Doom is just a version of Iron Man, Tony Stark, who was trapped in Doctor Doom's body or reincarnated into Doctor Doom's body. Last year at Comic-Con, like anniversary of Comic-Con last year, Kevin Feige revealed that the first time we'd actually see his Doctor Doom in live action was the Fantastic Four post-credit scene. And during that scene, as the movie just came out, we see 4-year-old Franklin Richards touching his face, but you don't see Robert Downey Jr.'s actual face. You can see that he's taken off his metal mask, and Franklin doesn't look afraid, so it's possible that Franklin is using his power cosmic to just heal all of his facial scars. Matt Shakman, the director of the movie, also revealed that the Russo brothers filmed that scene on the set of Avengers Doomsday, meaning that part of Avengers Doomsday, probably the beginning of the movie, will take place in the Baxter Building. It's a little bit like a Thor Ragnarok kind of post-credit scene where like Thanos shows up to get the Power Stone and then they sort of jump over that at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. So instead of Doctor Doom stealing Franklin Richards from the Fantastic Four, it's possible that Franklin actually decides to help Doctor Doom for some reason, or Doctor Doom convinces him to help, because it looks like Franklin is kind of reading him, like implicitly, just kind of understanding what's going on with him here. I think the context in the scene just points to a much more complicated relationship between Franklin and Doctor Doom than what you would normally think. I also think that this scene is meant to happen before the events of the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, so the Fantastic Four ship showing up in the MCU might just be them trying to chase Doctor Doom to try and get Franklin back. But because there's so much stuff that you could pull out of this, like Robert Downey Jr. is just good like that, like just check this out, like you could post anything and it would seem like the biggest teaser ever. Just post all your predictions and your theories in the comments below. Marvel knows exactly what they're doing with these kind of teasers. Like they're just telling Robert Downey Jr. to go wild, just tease whatever you want to tease, do whatever you want to do. They're paying him $80 million to be in these next 2 Avengers movies. He can do pretty much anything that he wants. I'm still recovering right now, so my voice is pretty fried if you couldn't tell, but I was able to make it through this video. Hopefully that'll change pretty soon, but I'm working on a couple other videos for this weekend, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss anything. Since Franklin Richards is using the power cosmic to heal so many people in the movies right now, maybe we can use him to actually heal my voice. Also remember that it's Comic-Con weekend, so there are a bunch of other trailers that are releasing for other stuff. I'll try to do videos for all that stuff as soon as possible. Brandon Routh literally just dressed up like Spider-Man and talked about the new Superman movie. That's how you know it's Comic-Con week. Everybody click here for my full Fantastic Four breakdown and Easter eggs for the entire movie, and click here for my Fantastic Four post-credit scene video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.